The story begins in a fantastical world where monstrous creatures are shown attacking a human settlement. A young man with striking eyes stands resolute, aware that he carries the last hope of the people. A young woman with long white hair, adorned like royalty, clasps his hands, imploring him to protect them using his special tactic skill. She then kisses him, causing his heart to beat faster and a twitch in his eye. She remarks that she still lacks sufficient wisdom and needs to engage in more erotic things to gain it. Following this, the young man, his eye now glowing with power, declares he has reached maximum wisdom and leaps into action, ready to confront the dangers. The narrative then signals a shift, stating, "This story." The scene changes to a modern-day high school. Two male students are engrossed in looking at a smartphone. They are observing the social media account of a popular gal from their school, Takanashi, who is known for her looks. Just then, Takanashi herself, dressed in her school uniform, walks by with her friends. She notices the boys and one of them, flustered, tries to explain that he only found her picture by chance. Takanashi, however, reacts with clear disgust, making a tisk sound and calling them gross and creeps, complaining that they always stare at her with disgusting looks before walking away with her friends. The two boys are left feeling dejected by her harsh words. Another student, Noah Zuiho, a second year with a confident smirk, approaches his two crestfallen friends. He inquires if they want to get back at Takanashi. One of his friends expresses concern that doing so might make them an enemy of all the girls, but Noah, unconcerned, devises a plan. He intends to use his unique ability to subtly embarrass Takanashi. Noah explains his process. First, he focuses, then he reenacts events in his mind, runs simulations, and creates tactics to achieve his goal. He targets a crow, noting its size, distance, and aiming parameters. He visualizes the trajectory and the outcome, calculating the variables for both the crow and Takanashi. After finding his answer through this mental simulation, Noah clenches his fist and flicks a small, unseen object with precision. The object startles a pair of crows, causing them to fly directly towards Takanashi and her friend. It is revealed that Noah knew from Takanashi's social media that she has a phobia of ravens. As the birds approach, Takanashi is visibly terrified. Later, as Noah walks away, his friends thank him for the satisfying prank. One of them then brings up a rumor about Noah, remembering a horrific random shooting massacre that occurred 5 years prior, where up to 39 people were killed. He recalls that Noah survived the incident, but his little sister was tragically killed right before his eyes. The friend clarifies that Noah isn't seeking revenge, as the culprit is already dead. Instead, ever since that tragic day, Noah has been obsessively trying to devise tactics to defeat a representation of the culprit, a former mercenary who fought overseas in a war. He does this by repeatedly reenacting the events in his mind, a process through which he perfected his tactical sight. The other friend finds the story somewhat fishy, questioning how Noah could be so adept at things like precisely aiming at the ravens or excelling in athletics if his ability was solely for this mental exercise. He also notes Noah's frequent talk about wanting a girlfriend, which seems to clash with his intense focus. However, the first friend dismisses these doubts as just rumors and coincidences. As Noah walks home alone, he passes a park where a little girl named Kaori is saying goodbye to her mother and another girl. Kaori spots a small kitten and, delighted, exclaims, "It's a kitty," and begins to chase after it playfully. The kitten runs and Kaori follows, her attention solely on the animal. Noah watches from a pedestrian overpass as the kitten, and then Kaori, run directly into the street, unaware of an approaching truck. Kaori's mother and her friend scream in terror. Witnessing the imminent danger, Noah's eyes sharpen as his tactical sight activates. He quickly throws off his backpack and leaps from the overpass. As he falls, he has a vivid flashback to 5 years ago. He sees his younger sister, Kana Zuiho, who was 5 years old at the time, petting a kitten. The kitten suddenly scratched her, making her cry out that it hurt and that she hated cats. A younger Noah comforted her, telling her they needed to go home and disinfect the scratch. He then suggested that the cat might have disliked being petted too much and that they should apologize to it next time. Kana smiled and agreed. The flashback shifts to a later, tragic moment where young Noah is calling out for Kana, only to find her lifeless. Back in the present, as Noah plummets towards the road, he resolves to save the girl, Kaori, even if it costs him his own life, wondering if this act might make Kana think better of him. He reaches Kaori just in time to push her out of the truck's path. Noah then finds himself standing on a serene, white, beach-like expanse under an empty sky. He reflects that he was too optimistic, realizing he cannot meet Kana if he is dead. Suddenly, a beautiful woman with long, flowing hair appears before him, calling his name. Noah asks who she is, and she replies that she has been called a god lately. She explains that she wants him to save a world and, in return, she will grant him the power of wisdom, which will enhance his tactical sight. Noah mishears power of wisdom, seishi, as an erotic skill, eki, due to the similar-sounding words, but the goddess clarifies. Playfully, she then offers him the power of wisdom that works through erotic things, but Noah firmly states he wouldn't do such things even if given the power. The goddess then makes a more serious offer. If he saves the world, she will also give him the power to bring back your precious person, meaning Kana. Noah is visibly moved by this prospect. With a deal struck, the goddess declares, "Now off you go," and with a whoosh of light, Noah vanishes. He reawakens with a start, finding himself in an unfamiliar, rustic village filled with thatched-roof houses and wooden carts. He has never seen such a place before and wonders if this is the world he is meant to save, noting it looks like a countryside village. He decides to first ask someone where he is. He observes a larger, more prominent house situated on a distant, huge rocky mountain, thinking he might learn something if he goes there. As he wonders why there is no one around, he hears a deep rumbling sound that grows steadily closer. Suddenly, a man from the village appears, looking alarmed. He shouts at Noah, asking what he is doing and urgently warning him to run for his life because the monster is coming. Before Noah can fully react or comprehend the situation, a monstrous, giant hand descends and grabs the villager. The villager screams as the hand crushes him, and then, to Noah's horror, the creature brings the man to its mouth and gruesomely eats him. Noah watches, aghast, as the massive, grotesque monster, with a wide maw and sharp teeth, licks its fingers. He shivers, realizing that this world indeed has monsters that eat humans. The goddess's condition for their deal flashes in his mind, for him to become this world's hero. The story ends with Noah standing frozen in shock, facing the terrifying creature. As the story continues, Noah finds himself paralyzed with fear, staring at the monstrous creature that has just devoured a villager. He realizes he must escape to survive, and his body instinctively reacts, darting away from the giant, looming hand of the monster. Noah dashes and lunges, narrowly avoiding the creature's immense grasp, but it still manages to swipe at him, knocking him off his feet with a powerful blow that sends him crashing to the ground. He groans in pain, feeling the sharp ache all over his body, a vivid reminder that this horrifying situation is not a dream but a terrifying reality. Noah slowly crawls, his body trembling, as he sees two terrified girls hiding within a nearby thatched roof house, their faces etched with fear. He wonders if protecting these girls from the monster is the condition the goddess set for him to fulfill in order to revive his beloved sister, Kana. A painful thought crosses his mind. How can he protect anyone when he couldn't even protect Kana? His mind drifts back 5 years to a more innocent time. Young Noah and Kana are seen in a bustling street, enjoying a day out. Noah explains to Kana that their dad and others will be busy with work for a long time. Kana then confidently declares her choice of crepe flavor, leading Noah to playfully chide her not to decide things by herself. She enthusiastically suggests they both get strawberry and banana crepes and split them, to which Noah, pretending to be mean, says he will just take chocolate. He then reveals his true plan, proposing they ask for 3 pieces and split the banana crepe between them, which makes Kana sparkle with delight. As they walk away, happily munching on their crepes, Noah reminds Kana not to eat while walking. Their joyful stroll soon takes a dark turn as Noah notices a suspicious man wearing a heavy coat despite the summer weather. He tries to distract Kana, suggesting they sit down, but the man continues to move through the crowd. Shockingly, the man silently begins to stab unsuspecting people with a knife he produced, as Noah and Kana remain momentarily oblivious, still focused on their shared crepe. Suddenly, chaos erupts as people realize what is happening, screaming about a random stabber, and fleeing in a frenzy. Noah grabs Kana, desperate to protect her and urging her to run, as he hears the frantic footsteps of others and the sinister thuds of the attacker. The stabber continues his horrific rampage, attacking more people while Noah desperately tries to shield Kana. A brave man confronts the attacker, shouting for the kids to run, but is mercilessly stabbed by the assailant. To Noah's utter horror, the stabber then pulls out a gun. Noah initially thinks it's a fake, but his eyes widen in terror as the man fires, and a woman next to him is shot, her blood splattering onto his face. He realizes with chilling clarity that it's a real gun and that they are all dead if the man aims for them. Noah and Kana run frantically, crying for someone, anyone, to help them, but Noah's heart sinks as he realizes there's no one left to come to their aid. The stabber then turns his attention to Kana, and in a surge of desperate courage, Noah declares he will be the one to protect her. He throws himself forward, trying to intercept the shot, as the stabber fires. The bullet grazes Noah's head, leaving him momentarily stunned, just as police sirens blare and officers arrive, opening fire on the stabber, who then flees. Noah, covered in blood and barely conscious, looks down at Kana, his heart shattering as he sees her lifeless body on the pavement, a fatal wound marring her head. Returning to the present, Noah is consumed by the lingering agony of his past failure, questioning why he was powerless to protect Kana. His mind replays the tragic scene, intercut with his current struggle to evade the monstrous hand of the creature in this new world, a stark reminder of his inability to protect in both realities. He recalls a moment from his past when he, as a younger self, excitedly told his parents he had finally devised tactics to defeat the killer and save Kana, believing he had found the answer to prevent her death. However, his father, with a solemn expression, told him that Kana would not come back to life, urging him to forget the past and live his own life, stating that no amount of regret or tactical breakthroughs could change what had already happened. Noah, clenching his fist, emphatically rejects the idea of moving on, declaring that it's impossible for him to forget Kana. He recalls the paths he might have taken, like joining a club or getting a girlfriend, wondering if he would have found happiness then. But faced with the towering monster, he defiantly states that things are different now, proclaiming that if he succeeds in saving this world, he will finally be able to move forward, empowered by the very regret that has fueled him for so long. His eyes throb as he makes a powerful oath, swearing that with this new power, born from his deep sorrow, he will bring Kana back to life. As Noah's tactical sight fully engages, he intensely analyzes the monster, calculating its biting attack, his own physical capabilities, and the creature's speed to find the perfect counter. He mentally simulates dodging the monster's bite by moving a mere half-step forward, constantly questioning his next move. He tries various evasive maneuvers, to the right, left, back, and upward, but quickly realizes his brain's processing speed is far too slow for combat, making it impossible to find a timely answer. The monster's powerful punch connects, sending him flying again, and he crashes onto the wooden floor. Noah, battered but resolute, acknowledges the immense slowness of his tactical sight during real battle and wonders if he can somehow force his mind to become smarter, right now, in the midst of this desperate fight. Meanwhile, high on the rocky mountain, the goddess, a regal figure adorned with a crown, anxiously awaits Noah's arrival, believing him to be the town's last hope. The scene closes as a little girl resembling Kana, dressed in a frilly black dress, approaches the exhausted Noah in the monster-ridden village, clapping and praising his incredible tactics, completely unaware of the profound impact her resemblance has on him. Noah, utterly stunned, whispers "Kana" as he sees both the girl and a ghostly image of his deceased sister beside her, leaving him in profound disbelief.